I can hear you good. How are you?
Hey Keith, how's it going?
Going good, John. How's your day so far?
So far, so good. Yeah,
Sounds good. Sounds
good
good,
to
John.
hear.
Wonderful. So, John, Power Through, your debut album is to be out on April 22nd. So, can you tell me a bit about the production and the making of the album?
Sure. Yeah, I'm really excited to be getting this one out there. It's been quite a few years in the making, and yeah, I'm just a pretty much a solo artist that has put the music together. I've been doing all my recording and production at home, and then got myself through the mixing and mastering processes, which is always a lot to learn still. And yeah, here it is. This is kind of a big a big moment for me because I've really never shared much of this music with anybody. So, and it's been really exciting to go through this process of really trying to get the word out there. And so far it's been pretty optimistic in terms of the response. So I'm really excited.
Sounds good, John. Sounds good. And was there any particular concept that was put behind this album?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Was there any particular concept that was put behind this
No,
album?
yeah, not really. I think it was more of just went from song to song, came, and eventually I realized I had a collection of songs and kind of put them together in a way to where they fit into an album format. We'll see, I guess.
Wonderful, wonderful. And talking of the album, it's a most more of an instrumental, and you had one vocal part on Common Ground. So
Yep.
can you tell me why they choose to have it more instrumental than less vocals on this one?
And well, I guess there's a few reasons for that. One is, yeah, my vocals still need work, so I'm still practicing on that. And the I guess when I do these particular songs, what was interesting with even with Common Ground,
Mhm.
I wrote it with vocals, but I have a difficult time singing it and playing it. I mean, I could play some parts okay, then there's other parts where there's too much going on with the guitar, and it takes away from my effort with the vocals. But some of these other songs where they've been more along the instrumental, I'm a big Iron Maiden fan, and I really like the Iron Maiden, the instrumental songs that
Yeah,
they've done, and especially in their earlier days.
yeah.
And so there's kind of an inspiration with that. And yeah, I think there's definitely, I do have some other songs that do have some lyrics, and I'll probably be working them into the mix as things go forward. But I think for the time being, I enjoy playing guitar so much. I think I get mostly consumed by that rather than get laying down vocal tracks and writing
Gotcha.
the lyrics.
Gotcha, gotcha. And being the debut album from you, how do you feel about releasing the album, and how do you feel about the outcome of the album?
I'm pretty optimistic. Like I said, it's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and now I'm having the opportunity to actually formally introduce the music to the world and just see what happens with the feedback and the response. So it's been, I sometimes kick myself for having waited this long in life to, I've been playing guitar long enough, but I realized at a point I was like, I have nothing formally put together, nothing produced. And so that's where this all started, this project. I did an EP release in 2020, the
Yeah,
summer of 2020, and this is kind of a continuation of that, is to say, in terms of the songwriting and the way
yeah.
these songs came together in the following years after that release.
Sounds good. And any plans on the day of the release?
I actually do. I have a performance that I believe I'm going to be playing that evening, mostly just in front of friends. I think it's going to be
Okay.
more of a private event, but I was invited to do it. They know I've been putting this together for a while, and they were like, "Hey, why don't you just come on out? We'll get some other people playing some music." And so I got myself a little set on the evening of the release day, so that'll be fun. I got to
Wonderful.
get practicing though. That's the thing. And putting everything else together at the same time.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And being a solo artist, how does the touring works for you? And do you plan to tour for time being now, or you gonna keep it for
Um,
later part?
I'll see how it goes. I would like to. I'm certainly open to it. I'm pretty, pretty much free spirit these days, so it wouldn't surprise me to do something like that. I've actually been looking into vehicles to where I can be able to have something like that and still have my studio. So kind of have my studio in the vehicle, and
Mm,
then I could still travel and start doing some live stuff to get the music out there that way as well. So
it's good
there's
stuff.
certainly those gears are still turning.
Sounds good. And what would be some of the upcoming plans for you?
Well, that's probably some of the nearest plans, something like that, getting towards being able to play live. Of course, there's always a possibility to where I could either be forming a band or meet up with people who happen to be looking for a guitarist, and that's
Mhm.
all a good fit and everything. So that would be just as fun for me if that opportunity were to come my way.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping just at least having some music to share will at least start to draw me in the circle of people of like mind musically, and see where how it sparks from there. For the time being, I'll probably start off as a solo and then
sounds
let
good.
it build from there.
Looks like a plan to me.
Yeah, plans still coming together.
And how do you look into the future?
Pretty much with an open mind, I think. That's especially over the last few years where things have been such going through lots of changes and everything. So I'm just trying to be more present these days, I think, is what helps me, and keep focused on the music and keep creating music while I'm going through all this other stuff in life, and still working a day job and all that. So
Mhm.
balancing all that, and just understanding that how much fun I have when I create this music and putting this album together, especially this being my first go around. It's been a bit of a stumbling learning process for me. So moving forward, I can already foresee how I can be doing it much more efficiently and smoothly, which will only make it more fun. So we'll see.
Absolutely.
At this point, maybe the sky's the limit. We'll see what happens.
And any big dreams that you have on your mind?
I would still love to be able to travel and get in through Europe. Some of my all my favorite metal seems to come from certain parts in Europe there,
Yeah.
and I would love to be able to experience some of my favorite bands in,
Mhm.
in their home countries, and that would be pretty amazing. So
And
maybe be doing some of my own music in the mix. We'll see.
it sounds amazing. Sounds amazing.
So,
And in the future, do you plan to do some kind of collaboration with any of your favorite musicians or artists?
I'm totally open to anything that pops up. So yeah, I'm not particular to being a solo artist. For me, it's just been something, a place for me to get started and start to create some music was pretty much what it really came down to for me. And then teaching myself through the production process and all that, which took a little extra time, I guess, to say. And like I was saying before, still a big learning process, and I continue doing that going forward too, is to make my be more integrated with the production side of things. I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't expect to. I just did it out of because it had to be done, and I found a lot of creativity in that aspect of the process alone. So that was cool.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And when did you start taking your guitar classes, and since when you started playing, and what made you to get into music?
It was pretty much Iron Maiden. I think I probably had listened for probably about 3 years, 15, 16 when I started listening to a little more metal. And then it was probably about 19, maybe 20 when I finally picked up the guitar and
Mhm.
said, I like these songs so much, I want to learn how to play them. And, along with like Black Sabbath and a lot of
Yeah.
Dio and all the classic metal titans. And that pretty much just kind of mimic them for as long as still doing it pretty much. You keep always so much to learn from such great musicians like that, and it's cool to see them all still, a lot of them still producing music to this present day, which for me is super inspiring, that it's never too late to
Yeah.
to pursue a passion and do something with it, and and just go for it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And in the future, how does the musical direction gonna be? Are you be focusing more on the instrumental part with a lot of experimentation and stuff, or just you'll be traveling the same way that you are doing right now?
There'll probably be a lot of exploration and experimentation going on, so it's hard for me to say what exactly, because I think when I get into that more of a creative mindset, I just try to listen to what kind of music might be going through my head and
Mhm.
getting it through the instrument and getting it recorded onto some software so I can build upon it. Usually it's starts off with a little lick and then throw some drums in there and things are transitions and everything. And I always kind of picture my songwriting process is similar to if you watch Bob Ross do a painting,
Yeah.
start with a blank canvas and you just throw a few blotches on there, and before you know it, it's a forest of green trees and everything and all that. So that's kind of how I do it. It's more of a smorgasbord to start, and then as I keep going over and over the material, it refines into something that comes more. It just becomes what it is, I guess.
Amazing, amazing. And started with your EP in 2020. And how has the road been for you? And how has the music reached out to people around the globe?
When I released the EP, I didn't know really what I was doing. I had released it on my own. This time for the Power Through album, I sought out some help to help me get the word out there, which has made all the difference. I feel like we wouldn't be having this conversation probably, and so that was something looking back that I shoulda, coulda, woulda, I guess to say. At the same time, I was still forming my production skills, and I personally looking back on the EP, to me there was only a couple of songs that I really liked. One of the songs actually did come through onto this album, and I sort of haven't done much with the other ones, at least at this time. So they may come back as singles and something new along the way. We'll see what happens. So yeah, that was a very experimental process for me. That was it was a quiet release. We'll put it that way, but it was also a very good learning experience.
Sounds good. Sounds good, John. And John, finally, what would be the message that you want to give to the fans and to the people who are new to Scarlata?
Cool. Yeah, this is something I've been wanting to do, and I hope that the inspiration can be carried off to others, and if nothing else, it's good music to 45 minutes to clean your garage or something like that. Rock out and get you moving a little bit. But I think just for people to realize what their passions are, what they really love in life, and not be afraid to go after it. That's what I would say if I could put it in a nutshell for everybody.
Sounds great. Sounds great, John. And John, I want to thank you so much for giving me today this opportunity to have this wonderful interview with you. And thank you for putting up an amazing album, Power Through, this year on April 22nd. A great instrumental album, I would say. A pleasure to listen to it. A lot of heavy metal elements put together in this album and worth listening, I would say, for the year. And thanks for so much for this one. And I'm looking forward for more things coming from you in the coming years. And I wish you
Sounds
all the
good.
best, John.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time too, Keith. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. You have a great evening out there, John.
Thank
Take
you,
care of
sir. You
yourself.
too.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care. Bye bye.